What was life like for you growing up? In school, high school, going, out of high school into college or into the career field.
Yeah. I have a very large family. I have 32 first cousins. I probably have 100 cousins. And yes, we are all related to Schottensteins. And no, the rich ones don't throw their pocket change at me because their cup runneth over with money. Um, so everybody that I know pretty much growing up as a family was in some business, entrepreneurial. One cousin was a lawyer, one was a doctor, but it was, we like to call it the schmata business in Yiddish: rags, clothes, real estate, that kind of stuff. So I grew up as a kid down on Parsons Avenue. My dad had a small furniture appliance store at one end of the street, my grandfather at the other. And yeah, so that's kind of how it went.
So, school and going through high school, did you have any hobbies, interests? Were you an entrepreneur from the very beginning yourself, or is it something that you came into later on in life?
Nah, not really. Not at first. My entree into real estate was with my grandfather when you were 16, and I was close with my grandfather. Drive him around, and I'd get paid to go collect rent on Parsons Avenue. If that tells you something, the kind of tenants we had, you had to collect the rent. In retrospect, why they let a 17-year-old, little Jewish kid go down to Parsons Avenue and have, a ton of money in his pocket in the 70s, God knows. But, you know, and then, from there was kind of the thing to go in my dad's business, and he was in real estate development. So that was always kind of my goal coming out of college.
And what did you specifically go to college for?
Mean education or to get out of town or what? Yeah,
It's
I got
always
my
interesting.
degree. I got my degree in finance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, you get to use that a little bit in what you do today. Like, I always find like the college question quite interesting because I went to college and 3.5 years later, I got a degree and I didn't do anything with it. Right. I just jumped
Yeah.
into real estate and it was, for me, a waste of money. And, that's part of my journey of how I got into the business was because of what happened in college and changing courses and degrees and all that kind of stuff. So you went for financing ultimately, the goal it was to kind of go into the father's business of development, real estate development. Is that the track that you really did do, or did you
Yeah, that
find
was
out
the
of
track
school that
I
you want to do
did.
something else?
That was the track I did. And if I could be honest, that's probably one of my few regrets. I don't look back on life and, oh, I should have, would have, but not the best idea. That was my dad's, everybody works together. And I was like, oh, okay, why not? I didn't really know any better. Um, Yeah, so I went into my dad's and my brother and I, and we were doing real estate development, property management, building lots of apartments. And my dad was into the urban thing, which wasn't a bad idea. We were just real early in it. So
Hmm.
we built 90, 100 apartments downtown, like kind of way before anybody else was really doing that. And to keep it short, family dynamics were not beneficial to a long-term success.
Yeah, I'm sure that can be hard at times. Yeah, I can't. I always joke that there's no way that I could ever work with my wife. We just, we work together well, in the at home life. But if I had to go to work, her and I would just butt heads. Probably, we're just different people in that regard. So I can definitely see.